Let's go now to CBS News chief political analyst John Dickerson, who joins us from Washington. John, let me get out of the way and say good morning. What stood out to you?
Good morning, Tony. So many things stood out. You had that dramatic testimony from Officer Edwards talking about slipping around on other people's blood, reminding us of the chaos and the mayhem that was unleashed by a lie. And on the topic of that lie, we saw it for the first time, people, including, as people just saw with that clip, the president's daughter, so close to the president, people right next to him, telling him this is a lie, there is no evidence of widespread fraud. Also, campaign advisors were shown in that testimony. We hadn't seen that before. So it just reaffirms, we knew that the court said this, there was nothing to this. We knew all the state auditors said this, but the president was being told this by his closest aides, that there was no evidence of fraud, and yet unleashed all of this mayhem. The final thing is Vice President Pence, after the mayhem started, essentially acted as a shadow president. We didn't know this. He got on the phone and tried to get the National Guard out there. He was doing what the president would not. I can't think of a moment in presidential history where a vice president has done something because the president would not do it.
The committee wanted this on primetime television. They wanted to capture America's attention. Do you believe that what they saw was enough to shift or change minds in the court of public opinion?
I think in a country right now where we have so many moments of outrage, so many things to pay attention to, it's going to take more than just one evening to change minds. And you also have some number of people, whereas many Americans look at this and say Donald Trump went too far, there are a lot of Americans who think he didn't go far enough. So where public opinion ends up on this question is yet to be seen. But the thing that's most vital about this is not some event in the past. This is about whether the democracy can handle the peaceful transfer of power. And that's a question of the present, and it's a question of our future. So whether people are moved or not, it's vital enough that if they care about their democracy, they should be.
John, on that question of the present and the future, you're right. We won't know where the public was and where they go after seeing this. But if we can take the longer view, you're a historian of the presidency. I'm struck by Representative Adam Kinzinger's comment that the hearing will change history. Do you think you've seen enough to say that that's true?
Well, history has been changed already because this happened. This is the first attack on the Capitol since 1814. We're learning new historical things, like a vice president had to step in where a president wouldn't. And I think one of the key things is understanding the central role the president played. And one of the things that was a part of the testimony is it's not just about January 6th. When the election was decided, President Trump tried everything possible to overturn the free and fair election. As testimony showed, former Attorney General Barr said we can't live in a world where someone seizes power on no basis. I mean, that's a fundamental shot at the central tenet of American democracy. If you lose an election, you don't get to just say, no, I won, and then use power to stay in office. That's exactly what the founders created the American government to push against. So it is, whether people see it in those historical terms or not, it is nevertheless in those historical terms that we saw that testimony and that this story sits.
Yeah, and as Liz Cheney said, Donald Trump, first president in American history to not relinquish power in the aftermath of a free and fair election. John Dickerson, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tony.